One of the most precious, unique gifts that we as humans have is the ability to choose, to consider many alternatives, to discern among those alternatives, and then to choose one of them. That is a particularly human quality as far as we know. Animals don't have that, to consider various alternatives and then choose. That ability to choose can be, has many ordinary daily kinds of opportunities. I can choose what color sweater I'm going to wear today, what color shirt I'm going to wear, what I'm going to have for breakfast, what I'm going to have for lunch, what kind of toothpaste I'm going to buy. Those are all little choices that we make every day without really much reflection. But then we're faced with bigger choices in our lives. And one of the most fundamental choices, I think, is expressed in the Hebrew scriptures in the book of Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, 19th verse, where it says, Yahweh is speaking to the people, and God says, Yahweh says, I place before you death and life, blessing and curse. Therefore, choose life, that you and your descendants may live. I think that fundamental choice is presented to us in some ways in every day, the choice between death and life. And I think that there are two main ways in which we can take that fundamental choice in our lives and work with it. The first is to make a commitment and make a decision in our lives that we want to choose life in all the small and major circumstances of our lives. To make that a real, conscious, explicit choice that I want to serve life. I want to serve that which affirms life. I want to serve that which affirms love, kindness, beauty, truth, as much as I can in my life. That main decision is so important. It sets the table for everything else in our lives. Once having made that decision, then we're faced with the particular situations in our lives where that decision can be played out. Situations come up in our lives that are more important than what kind of toothpaste I'm going to buy or shirt I'm going to wear. There are situations, for example, where I'm hurt by someone that I love. And what do? It's not always clear what to do. It's not always sure which way to go. But in terms of choosing life, I need to ask myself, what does this situation need from me, rather than what do I need out of the situation? If I ask what does the situation need from me, then I'm including myself in that because I'm also in the situation. I'm part of the situation. But it widens my lens in terms of what I'm approaching, what I'm going to do. It widens the way I look at it. It's not just me and my ego, what I need or what I want, but what is wanted in a larger context. And so when I say, for example, that I've been hurt by someone that I love, it may not be clear exactly what to do, but I can ask, what does the situation need from me? And even if I'm not totally sure of what to do, I can take a step. Maybe the step I take is to ask to talk to the person. Or maybe I'll choose to reflect on what might have been going on in that other person's mind that they chose to do this thing that hurt me. Or the situation may be that I'm having a rough time with some coworker, conflict going on there, not clear what to do. But I can take a step, and the step maybe can just be to say, hey, why don't you help me with this project that I'm doing? Asking a person for help can open a door to something. So just taking that one step, and then we'll see where that one step leads to. It opens doors. So those are things that I can do by looking at the entire situation, taking a step, moving towards something that might open up the next step beyond that. And one of the things that I need to remember always is that no matter what is happening in my life, I can always choose the attitude that I take toward what is happening. I may not be able to control that outer thing, the death of someone or an illness or my own illness, but I can choose the attitude that I take toward that. To take a mundane example, if I'm driving along in the freeway and somebody goes zipping in and out and in a reckless kind of way, I have a choice. I can respond with rage and thereby put myself and other people around me in danger by rageful driving myself or distracted driving, or I can choose to remain calm and recognize that this person's doing a crazy thing, but I'm not going to fall into that. I'm going to continue to drive calmly. I can choose my attitude. And that is so important to remember in everything in life. I can always choose the attitude that I take towards what is happening with me. And in that light, I'd like to quote and end this little presentation with a quote from Sheila Moon's poetry, a poem that she calls The Herder. She says, "A choice to go whatever way, rough, smooth, above, below. If it is a choice made from courage, it leads a heart home."